Hello and welcome to the workout. I'm so glad that you are here. Today we've got a legs and arms workout. You need a handled resistance band and a set of dumbbells, light and medium or potentially heavier dumbbells. We've got lots of band exercises, several of my favorites. We're going to be working in supersets, 2 exercises for different body parts put back to back together, no rest in between. And then after that superset, you're going to take a short little rest and repeat the 2 exercises. If you want a harder workout today, you're going to do 3 supersets. You can move faster than me. You can move slower than me. You can take breaks when you need to. It's going to be an awesome workout. Now listen, I do want this to be a strength-based workout for you. So your job is to count 12 repetitions of every exercise on each side. So when we are doing a reverse lunge, it'll be 12 repetitions on each leg, moving at your own speed. You're in charge of counting. I want the last 2 repetitions to be challenging. So if you're doing this workout with me and you're like, this is a little on the easy side, that's on you. You need to increase your resistance, either get a heavier band, do heavier dumbbells, or worst case scenario, you're going to do more repetitions if you're limited by your exercise equipment. Let's get it started. We're going to go through a series of preparatory moves to get you ready for the workout, and then we will jump into the workout. So let's take a big inhale up, reach all the way up out of your waistline, and exhale it out. Now, when you reach up, I want you to really lengthen up very actively, and exhale it out. Let's do that again. Big inhale up. Exhale, keep your arms up over your head, breathe naturally, and now kind of relax for a moment. I want you to take a short little breath and go. I want you to actively reach up as high as you can, as actively as you can, lengthening out your space from shoulders to hips. Reach as much as you can, and relax down. We're going to do that one more time, but right now let's come into some spinal twist. Just let your arms naturally flow around your body. Just let them circle around. Let your hips rotate a little, but do really contract your glute on the leg that you're turning away from. So left, right, squeeze your glute, really squeeze it hard because it helps to create a foundation and a base of support for your spine, for you to rotate around. Otherwise, just let this go. Feels so good on the hips, the back, the spine. It's amazing. One more. And relax, arms up over your head, naturally, and let's go. Reach, lengthen. Don't hold your breath. It'll be just a short little breathing, just short little breaths so that you're not holding your breath. And relax it out. So you're gonna turn to the side, and I want you to just separate your feet from right to left, okay? You've got a good base of support front to back, but also left to right, and I just want you to take your arms up over your head, and we're just going to come down for just 12 on this side. Gentle, comfortable split squats here, really intended to warm you up and get you ready for the workout. So we're stretching that hip flexor of the leg that's in back, and we're firing up the glute of the leg that's in front. And while this could definitely be a strength exercise, we're doing it to prepare you for one of the exercises in the workout. So this really should be kind of comfortable, almost like a stretch on that back hip. Relax, same thing on the other side, 12 both sides. If you struggle with balance, take a look down and make sure that you truly have enough space from right to left between your feet, because that is what creates your base of support, your base of stability. So often, when you really struggle with balance on an exercise like this, a lot of times it comes back to your foot placement. So it's basic physics, right? You need a wide enough base of support to hold the object above it up. And that object is your body. So you've got to have a wide enough base of support to keep your balance. In other words, if your feet are lined up like this and you're trying to do this exercise, you don't have a base of support. So generally you have to give yourself a little bit more support. So from here, take your feet separated, take a look down, make sure that your feet are truly pointing forward, keep them there. Bend your knees, hips back, and let's come side to side, firing up the glutes. giving you a bit of a dynamic and active stretch on the inner thigh. Inner thigh, that's a dance move. It's appropriate. I'm in Las Vegas, right? Get your groove on. Press your hips back, be heavy onto your heels. If this is comfortable for you, sit deeper, all the way down. It might slow you down a little bit, but I want you to sit super deep to get the glutes firing, get the legs active, and just really deepening into basically a single-sided squat, right? So here is a single-sided squat. I love lateral movements because we don't do them a whole lot in our daily life, and yet it's a very important movement pattern. So I try to incorporate as many lateral moves into my workouts as I can to keep you balanced. One more. Speaking of balance, let's fire up your balance. Bring your feet together, lower your center of gravity. That activates your legs and your core. Find a spot on the floor to stare at and just find your balance. Bring one leg up. You might be stable, you might be unstable. If you wait about 10 to 15 seconds, your balance settles in. If you're stable and your balance is good, I want you to look around your space, intentionally moving your line of vision to throw your balance off. The whole goal here is for you to look around enough to throw your balance off. When your body is trying to hold its balance, that's where you get the value of this exercise. Amazing exercise. I realize if you're watching this in playback, it could look completely ridiculous and silly, but try it because your booty is going to fire up like crazy. And we all need to work on how good we are at balancing. So important. Same thing on the other side. Now, I have an added challenge today because I'm actually on a downward slope. So if you're watching this in playback and the camera seems a little off, it's because I got actually a pretty severe downward slope here. And that automatically is making this exercise so much easier for me. So much harder for me. Look up, look down, look all around to throw your balance off. Make sure you're keeping your standing knee bent. Take a look down. Because if you've got weak hamstrings, you're going to have a tendency to straighten out your standing leg. And that's not what we want. We want a little bend in that standing leg as you're looking around, because that is what helps to engage all of the muscles of your leg, your hips, your hamstrings, and everything. Keep that knee bent. If you feel this in the arch of your foot, you're doing it right. And relax. Let's get into our workout. Okay, our first superset is using a handled resistance band for both exercises. Let me demonstrate. We've got a single leg RDL, Romanian deadlift with the band, and then we've got an upright row. Let me show you the first two exercises and then we'll jump in. So you're gonna drop your band down and you're gonna step on it with the band holding onto your handle only about 4 to 6 inches away from your foot, okay? So from here, again, keeping that standing leg bent, you're coming into an RDL, come up, squeeze the glutes. RDL here, come up, squeeze the glutes so that you can see it from the front. If you're standing on your right leg, you're holding your band in the opposite arm, okay? That's your RDL. Next exercise is a band upright row. You're gonna cross your handles over to make an X, and we come into an upright row. 12 reps each. Are you guys ready? Let's do this. So starting first with that RDL, band on the floor, standing on your right leg, holding in your left hand, bend into that standing leg. Here we go, using the opposite arm for balance. Squeeze your glute at the top. In a perfect world, you would have some tension on your band at the bottom of the exercise, right there. There should be a little bit of tension at the bottom of the exercise. If you struggle with balance, have something over here to stabilize yourself. A chair, a wall, anything. You can do this exercise with a dumbbell. If you're exercising from a well-equipped home gym, you can use a barbell. 12 reps. Remember, if 12 is easy, we got to challenge you a bit more. One more, or wherever you are, switch sides, going on to the other leg. 4, 12 reps on the opposite side. As I said at the beginning of the workout, you're a big girl. You need to learn to count your repetitions. You're responsible for your body and your success. So I want to make sure that you are counting your repetitions, because on an exercise like this, you want to make sure you stay symmetric. So you want to challenge each leg equally. And it's important that you are using the same amount of repetitions on each side. Squeeze your glutes at the top. One of my favorite exercises of all time. So good for single leg stability. So good for balance. So good for glutes, hamstrings, core, posterior chain. Everything. It'll keep you young. Best exercise ever. 12 reps. And then we're going to immediately go into band upright row. So stand on your band. Cross your handles. Make sure they've got equal tension from right to left. You want to make sure there's about the same amount of tension. Cross over. And we've got upright row. Even though your elbows are coming up, your shoulders stay down. Shoulders stay down. If you have shoulder issues, you can end with your elbows at about the height of your shoulders. If you have healthy shoulders, bring those elbows a little on the high side, 12 repetitions, nice and tall. You can also do this with dumbbells or a barbell if you'd like. After this set and after these 12 reps, you're going to take a short rest, 20 to 30 seconds, and then we'll repeat this superset. Ooh, feels good, doesn't it? Such a good shoulder exercise. I absolutely love it. Short break, and then we're going to do this superset again. It's warming up here. Got to get rid of the sweatshirt. Okay. So we're going to do the same exact exercises again. As I said, remember, if you're finding that first set was comfortable, I need you to use either a harder resistance band, heavier dumbbells, because both of these exercises could be done with dumbbells, or pause at the bottom of your RDL, pause at the top of your upright row, and in the last place, you can add repetitions. Okay, let's go. Second set. Starting on that right leg. Standing knee is nice and bent to give you a good activation in the glutes and the hamstrings, using the opposite arm for balance. Here we go, 12 reps. Squeeze your glutes at the top right there. You want to keep as much of a neutral curvature in your lower back as you can. You also want to make sure that as you rotate forward, the hip of the leg that's moving, if you're following me, that would be your left leg. The hip of your left leg wants to stay at about the same level as your opposite standing leg. So you want your hips to be about parallel to each other. There's a real tendency for this moving hip to lift up for people to here, and you really want to try to keep that hip down so that it's nice and level to your standing leg. 12 reps, switch sides. You'll notice that you've got one leg that's more stable, one leg that's a bit imbalanced. Almost every single person I've ever worked with in the past 30 years has this imbalance. It just depends on which leg it is for you. So notice that one leg just is going to do this a little bit easier. It's going to make more sense. It's going to feel more natural, and that's normal. And we want to try to correct any imbalances from left to right. So on the side that feels a little more awkward, I just want you to put a little bit more love into that side, a little bit more care, a little bit more attention to see if you can get your kind of unstable side up to the ability of the stable side. Upright row, stand on your band, check the distance of your handles to make sure that they have equal resistance. Bend the knees, cross your bands. Here we go. If you want your arms to look amazing, if you want those beautiful, athletic, sculpted shoulders, one of the best exercises you can do right here. And as always, shoulders back and down. So even though your elbows are coming up, You still want your shoulder girdle relaxing down right here. Relax those shoulders towards your hips. So your elbows come up. That's going to put the work on the deltoids, but it's going to keep it off of your traps a little. Your traps will get used here, but we want to kind of minimize how much your traps are being involved. 12 reps. You can do this with dumbbells, with a barbell, and then take a break. Those last 2 reps should be challenging. Let me show you the next superset. You can do both of these exercises with dumbbells if you want. And if you love the band, this is such a great band variation as compared to using dumbbells. So feet are about shoulder width distance apart. Hold on, let me try to, there we go. Feet are about shoulder width distance apart. Toes are turned to open slightly. If you can, you're gonna bring your band up, back behind you here, and we're coming into a band squat. Squeeze your glutes. And if this is too much to hold, you can hold your band at your side, but you're going to lose resistance at the bottom. As I said, you can also do dumbbells for this exercise. One of my other favorites, lay your band out in front of you, step about 3/4 of the way, band back behind, and we've got tricep extension. You can do this with a dumbbell if you prefer, but it's so good with a band. Oh, it's so good. Let's do this. Band squat first. Step on your band, stretch between your feet, because we actually want you to have access to as much of the band as possible here. Bring it back behind you at your shoulders. Toes are open, about shoulder width distance. Here we go. Squat, squeeze your glutes. Sit nice and deep. And if you find this is awkward with the handled resistance band, switch to dumbbells. Or if you're working out at home and you've got a barbell, go for it. Do a traditional barbell back squat here. Such a good exercise. Just make sure that your toes are turned to open slightly. That really helps to activate your glutes at the bottom and the top of the move. Finishing the move with your hips directly underneath you, squeezing your glutes. 12 reps, going right into tricep overhead extension with the band or a dumbbell if you prefer. If you're using a band, like I said, love this move with a band. Put the band out in front of you and then step about 3/4 of the way forward towards the handle. Bring the opposite handle back behind you and press. I love this because at the top of the move, you're getting maximal resistance on the band. So a band is called a variable resistance apparatus. And that's because at the top here, you've got more resistance than you do here at the bottom. That's variable resistance, which is different than if you had a dumbbell. If you were using an 8-pound dumbbell here, the weight is 8 pounds at the top and it's 8 pounds at the bottom. So it's not a variable resistance. But because of gravity, you don't have any tension up here if you're using a dumbbell. But with the band, you do. Short break, and we're going to repeat these 2 exercises. So certain exercises I love with a band, and certain exercises you can do with a band, but it's not ideal. But the benefit is always understanding when that band is stretched, you've got more tension, and that can work so well for certain exercises like that tricep, because it really demands a lot of work on the tricep, specifically at the top when the muscle is in full contraction. Okay, let's go. Second set. Squat with a band. Get a heavier band if that first set was easy. Switch to dumbbells. If you want to work harder today, really depends on where your energy and your performance and your fitness level is today. Knees are turned open, toes are turned open, body weight is nice and heavy on your heels. Squeeze your glutes at the top. Draw in through your abdomen, draw your tummy in, reach those hips back, reach those hips back. Oh, isn't it good? So good. Keep your chest up. Make sure that you're finishing the move with your hips under your shoulders. I see a lot of my clients end here And that's what's called unsupported forward flexion of your spine. This is the worst position to put your body in. Terrible. No wonder so many old people have back issues, because they walk around like this. Get your hips under you. That's what your glutes are for. Use those glutes, girl. Activate them. Oh, it's so good. 12 reps, going right into tricep overhead extension with a band, or if you want to, grab your dumbbell. Either way, I definitely want you to challenge yourself on the last 2 repetitions here. So reps number 11 and 12 really should be challenging, okay? And if it's not, you're still getting exercise. It's still good for you. Anything is better than nothing. Really and truly, I'm so glad you're here. That's all that matters. And if your goal is to really get stronger, if your goal is to build your lean muscle mass or become more fit, you have to challenge yourself on those last 2 repetitions. You have to. Otherwise, you won't ever get better. This is not hustle culture. This is not, tough, feel the burn, no gain, or whatever, no pain, no gain. This isn't that. It's just that there's something called overload. We have to overload the body in order for it to get better. If you're a runner, you have to run faster or farther. If you are playing in a sport, you have to do it at a higher level, at a harder skill level in order to get better. You have to reach first, and then your body shows up. Let me show you the next 2 exercises, the next superset. Again, if you want a harder workout, do a 3rd superset of each of these moves. Next, we haven't done this before, and it's a little unusual. I'm going to do it from the side so you can see it here first, but it's an awesome exercise. So you're going to step on your band about halfway down the band. You might need to adjust it. You're going to bring the band up to your shoulder, and we're going into a reverse lunge on one side. Now, if this is easy, you can either make your band harder, or you can take your band up over your head and do the same exact move with your band over your head. 12 reps on each side. It's a doozy. So let me show you from the front so you get it right. You're gonna start on your right leg, your right leg, right hand up over your head. So the band is on the same side of the leg that you're standing on. Otherwise you wouldn't be able to anchor your band, right? Common sense, but you never know. People get confused very easily. Okay, next exercise is a band bicep curl. You can have 1 foot to make it a hair easier, 2 feet to make it a little harder. We've got palms up, bicep curl in a supinated position. That means palms forward, shoulders down and back, as always. Let's go for that reverse lunge. So lay your band down in front of you on like a T, stand on it about halfway, bring that handle to your shoulder, bend the knees, abs nice and tight, super tall. And from here, we're going into 12 reverse lunges. If this is doable, shorten your band, or take your hand up over your head. It makes it a whole lot harder, okay? Drive into your front heel, but make sure, as I said before, you still want to finish your move here by squeezing your glute and ending with your hip under your shoulder. Squeeze that glute right there. 12 reps, nice and tall. Either hand position, and listen, you can also do this with a dumbbell if you want. If you don't like the band variation, do it with the dumbbell. Same thing on the other side. 12 reps. One leg right after the other, stepping on that band about halfway. I do think it's a good idea to do your first set with your handle at the shoulder so that you get the feel of where the resistance is, okay? Then you can shorten your band to make it harder, see how it feels, and if you're still good, take that band straight up. You gotta really stabilize. It adds a whole other element to your core stabilization. I love it. So great for core, glutes, shoulder, and just your overhead stability. Just make sure you finish off that move, squeezing the glute. Get your hip totally under you right there. Isn't that amazing? So good. After this, you'll go into band, supinated bicep curl. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Let's do that. You guys, the irony is hilarious. Off camera, where I am in this courtyard of the hotel, which is a smoke-free hotel, I'm basically in the courtyard of the smoking section, which I think is so hilarious. There's like 3 people off camera smoking and watching me work out. Talk about sending a positive message. Maybe I will inspire them to give up the cigarette and join me for a workout. Cracks me up. Keep those knees bent, shoulders back and down. Listen, if you really put your shoulders back and down, look at how much more you feel your biceps. Isn't that amazing? When your shoulders are moving towards your hips, it's so much more biceps. 12 reps, short break, and then we're gonna go into our second set. Taking the break as you need it. Listen, you can take a longer break. You can take a shorter break. You can move faster than me. You can move slower, taking breaks whenever you need to. And remember, I really want you to be challenged in this workout about 20% beyond where you are currently. So if you're super fit and have high energy today, I need you to push yourself a bit harder. And depending on the equipment that you have access to, you might need to do more repetitions. Okay, let's go. Second set, starting first with that handle at your shoulder. And even though there's a lot going on this exercise is really about the front leg. So you want to put all of your mental focus into your front leg because that is what we're working. And if that shoulder is above you, we are also working shoulder stabilizers, deltoids, all of the surrounding stabilizing muscles of the shoulder and core. Drive into that front heel. 12 reps. One of my favorite exercises. It's so good. One more and let's go. Same on the other side. Technically, you should be able to just drop your band. If you were standing on your band halfway, you should be able to just drop your handle, pick up the other side, okay? You might need to make a little bit of an adjustment, but band safety 101. Make sure that your standing leg is 100% on your band. Ideally, you put it under the ball of your foot because if it's under the arch of your foot, it could move and you don't want that to happen. So make sure that you're very firmly standing on your band, and that's usually best under the ball of the foot. 12 reps before we go into that bicep curl. Finish your move here by squeezing that glute. Squeeze your glute. Standing super tall, if it's easy, arm up over your head to make it a bit harder, a bit more complex. And bicep curls. Either 1 foot if you want it a little harder, 1 foot if you want it easier, 2 feet if you want it a little bit harder. But in either situation, really make sure you are bringing your shoulders back in space and down, which is going to keep your chest lifted. When you do that, it puts so much more work onto the bicep because your traps and your shoulders aren't doing much. And because this is a bicep exercise, we want all the work right on your biceps. Shoulders releasing towards your hips. One more, 12 reps, wherever you are, short break. Let me show you the next superset. I got a new exercise for you guys on our last superset. It's so good, so fun. I can't wait. Next superset, you're going to want a dumbbell. First exercise is a plie and press. So your toes are Your toe, I'm gonna do it this way so you can see me a little bit better. Your toes are turned open a little bit. Holding your dumbbell, it's a plie and a press. Plie and press, okay? Obviously, I'm not in a gym. I could not get my hands on dumbbells. I'm gonna be demonstrating this without a dumbbell, but I want you using 8, 10, 15, 20-pound dumbbell, holding it end to end. Second exercise. Ooh, this is a good one. You're gonna put your dumbbell down. You're gonna grab your handle resistance band. You're gonna hold it across your chest like this. Left hand at the right shoulder. You're then gonna grab your band, and it is a tricep press down. So you grab your band at about 90 degrees at the elbow and press straight down. Tricep extension from here. It's a great exercise. You just have to make sure you're holding your band, and you're pushing into your chest here to anchor it, driving straight down for your tricep, okay? All right, let's do it. Grab your dumbbell, coming into a plie position, toes are turned open, not full turn open, but definitely about 75% of your open. Hold your heavy dumbbell, plie, press. And when you press, I want you to give me a really big reach here. You want to sit as deeply as it feels right for your body. So to some degree, sitting deeper is better, to some degree. And depending on your flexibility or your inherent strengths or weaknesses, you might not be able to get down to the ground. Let those knees come out to the side. You want your knees to basically almost push back behind you. Big reach. Sit, big reach. Oh, isn't that good? Ah, so good on the hips. Okay, you ready for that tricep exercise? Oh, it's a good one. Grab your resistance band. You actually don't need a handled resistance band for this exercise. Left hand, I'm mirroring you. Left hand comes into your right shoulder. Lock it here. Grab that band at about 90 degrees at this elbow. And here we go, nice and tall, press straight down. Squeeze your tricep hard at the bottom. If this is easier, grab your band higher towards your stabilizing hand. So at the top, your hands end up being pretty close to each other here. There's only about 4 to 6 inches in between your hands at the top of the move. And if you really press down, squeeze your tricep like crazy at the bottom, it's an unbelievable contraction. Right there. Squeeze that tricep like crazy. Keeping your shoulder anchored back and down, 12 reps. Same on the other side, isn't that a doozy? So just switch your hands. That's all you gotta do. Switch your hands and it'll be staying on the other side, straight down. Triceps are harder to get an effective workout outside of the gym. It's a little harder, especially for women. And so to some degree, you have to get creative with your tricep exercises if you're working out outside of a gym. It really comes down to getting very mentally focused on squeezing and activating and squeezing the muscle that you're using on any given exercise. And it really applies here for triceps. Squeezing here, 12 reps, one more. Take a short break, and then we're going to repeat these 2 exercises, plie and press, coming back to that tricep. So think back to that first set of plie and press. How'd it feel? Was it easy? Could you do 12 reps? You want to grab a heavier dumbbell. I really want reps 11 and 12 to be like, oh, it feels like work, okay? Your job is to show up for yourself, challenge yourself, and really ask yourself honestly, were those last 2 repetitions hard? If not, let's grab a heavier dumbbell. Here we go. Sitting down. And listen, if you are newer to strength training, if you're coming back from an injury, if you're just getting your fitness back, you can do this exercise just like I am without a dumbbell. It's still great. In fact, there's an argument for doing some of these exercises with no weight load because you can really work on your technique. I'm feeling my hamstrings a lot because I'm not restricted in any way by that dumbbell. Feels amazing. So just know that yes, I want you to challenge yourself from a strength perspective, and there is a time and place to go a little bit more conservatively. Don't think of it as cheating. Don't think of it as being out of shape or weak. Your job is to work 20% harder than where you are today. That's it, 20% harder. And if your 20% is easier than my 20%, that's okay. That's where you are. Here we go. Tricep extension, holding in your left hand first, over to that opposite shoulder. Grab that handle about 4 to 6 inches away from your anchor point. Right there. Feels good, right? So good for the back of the arms. It's also really good for your shoulders. And if you really brace and anchor your core, this is actually a really good core stability exercise as well. So good, right? Shoulder, reaching back. Make sure the working arm's shoulder is still rotating back in space. And then it also becomes an awesome shoulder exercise. If you really work this shoulder back, you end up getting incredible strengthening on the back of the shoulder as well. Switching sides when you're ready. You can literally just hold the band in the same exact place and switch sides. Nice and tall posture, nice long tall posture. Working shoulder and arm, move back in space. Pausing at the bottom to really activate and grip the tricep of the arm that's moving. Squeeze her like crazy. Squeeze it like crazy. So good, right? Such a good exercise. 12 reps, unless you're limited by your band, you can do more. You can also pause longer here at the bottom to increase the time under tension on that muscle. 12 reps and relax. You can also do a third superset if you want. Let me show you the last 2 moves. Oh, this is a good one. This is a new one. You're gonna want a dumbbell, a lighter dumbbell, maybe 5 pounds. If you have funky knees, I want you to practice this with no dumbbell. So you're gonna do it just like I do it. It's a combination of 2 of my favorite exercises. You're gonna start with your feet kind of wide, okay? And if you've got a dumbbell, your dumbbell is here at your chest. You're gonna come over to a side lunge, pull the dumbbell up, come around to a curtsy squat. Side lunge, come around to a curtsy squat. So we're gonna work on one leg at a time, okay? FYI, I'm on a downhill slope, so it makes it look a little bit more awkward, and I can't really neutralize it for you, but to the side, wrap around, okay? Be very gentle and cautious if you have knee issues, because in some ways, I don't love this position until you're super familiar with it and until you know that front knee can handle it okay. So be gentle. Don't go too deep on your first couple until you see how your knees respond. Second exercise is a band overhead press. You've got 2 options. So ideally, you're probably going to put one foot into the band, bring that handle up back behind, and we are straight up over our head. If that's easy, put both feet in the band. Same movement. Okay, let's begin. So you can do this without a dumbbell, or grab yourself a dumbbell. If you are strong and fit and you know you're good with curtsy squats, grab a 10 pound, 15 pound, 20 pound. Feet kind of wide, bend your knees, hold your dumbbell here. We come into a side lunge first, dumbbell to your chest, curtsy squat, and repeat for 12. Side lunge, curtsy squat. So good. Side lunge, keeping your chest up in both positions. Side lunge, swing it around, curtsy squat. So if you're mirroring with me, your left leg does not move. You're just swinging your right leg around your left leg. On the side lunge here, push your hips way back. Really important that you're pushing your hips back, okay? Isn't it good? It's so good. Oh my gosh, it just does so much. You're getting right leg, left leg. 12 reps, right leg, left leg. When you hit those 12, same on the other side. It's so good, but like I said, please be very cautious. Listen to your body. Make sure the knee is happy. Same on the other side. Side lunge and swing around. Sitting with your hips back, swing around. Oh, isn't that good? If you can manage a curtsy squat comfortably, it's a great glute exercise. And really, it hinges on your ability to have a free and happy knee position. Your knee has to be very unrestricted here. And I find it about, 60-40. 60% of people are perfectly fine in this position. 40 have to come a little shallow. Okay, so it really can be a true little baby curtsy. You don't have to be coming super, super deep, tapping your back knee down, unless that feels good for you. 12 reps. I do love that side lunge when you really push your hips back. Okay. After your 12 here, going to band overhead press. And let's do that together. Grab your band, 2 options. 1 foot under the band. Okay, handles wrap up, back behind your shoulders. From here, straight up over your head. Now, if this is easy, you're going to bring both feet into the band because that's going to shorten the band to make it harder. Okay, straight up. And because we're really stretching the band super long here, this is a challenging move. Short break. And then we're going to do our second set. So good, right? Okay. So generally, the second set is more natural and better. So if you felt okay on that curtsy squat on the first set, get a heavier dumbbell. Challenge yourself more on the second set. If your first set was a little wonky, your second set's going to feel better, okay? So if you did the first set with me with no dumbbells, you might be cool on your second set with a dumbbell. Start with your knees bent. Dumbbell is here. We are side lunge and swing. Side lunge and swing. Always swinging with great focus and intention, really intention. Thinking a lot about when you come down to that curtsy here, lots of focus. This isn't the time to be thinking about your to-do list or what's going on in the background. I want you really thinking about and focusing on that front leg to keep you safe, okay? Hips back, pressing into your front heel, hips back, chest up, 12 reps. Ultimate leg exercise right here. One more. Same thing on the other side. You can generally just hit your middle position here. Bend the knees. Side lunge. Curtsy other way. Give your first couple reps a moment for your body to feel into it. Let your body really feel into it here. Abs nice and tight. Hips back, right? And if you've got your curtsy, how good, right there. That feel incredible on the hip of this leg. Oh, it's so good, right? So good if you can really get it. Hips back for that side lunge. Abs drawn in, super tight. 12 reps. And let's go to that overhead press. Now, listen, overhead press, you can also use dumbbells here. And if you're at home and you've got a barbell, you can also do this with your barbell. 1 foot or both if you want it a little harder. Keep that front knee bent, bring it up, back behind your shoulders, 12 reps. Like I said before, Want your shoulders relaxed down here. Don't let those shoulders rise up. You want them down, relaxing, especially at the top of the move. Big press. Shoulders relax down. 12 reps. And relax those last two. You should feel those last two, especially on that move, because at the top, there's so much stretch in the band. If you did this workout right, take your arms up over your head. That should be hard. That, you should raise your arms and be like, woo, that's like tiring. That's how you know you did the workout to the perfect intensity. Is going like this is like hard, just with your body weight only, okay? Let's take your feet separated. Let's take a big inhale. If you're doing a third superset, go ahead and take your time. I'm gonna take you through a couple cool down moves, couple of easy stretches. Exhale, one more. And let's revisit that exercise from the beginning, coming into our spinal twist, activating the glute on the leg that you're turning away from. So I want you to really let your arms go. Let them swing. I want to release some of that stickiness that we built up with the arm workout. So abs drawn in. Ooh, just let them flow. Let your pelvis and hips rotate. Couple here. We got a quadricep stretch coming. And relax. If you're challenged by balance, find something to hold on to stabilize yourself. Otherwise, bring your feet together, bend your knees, and you're gonna bring one leg up, back behind. And if you can grab your shoelaces, please do. Otherwise, you can grab the heel of your shoe, your pant leg. And then, I'm actually gonna switch so you can see me better. Then, I want you to look down, tuck your pelvis under. Then, with that pelvis tucked, pull the knee back. When you look down, your bent knee should be next to or behind your standing knee, but you want to keep your pelvis tucked under. Abs drawn in, pelvis tucked under, big quadricep stretch. And if you're doing it right, you're going to feel your glute and your hamstring really contract on that bent leg. This is almost a great glute exercise, okay? Relax, same thing on the other side. Find your balance first. Start with your knees bent, because that activates the muscles on the leg that you're standing, of the leg that you're standing on. Okay, keep that knee bent. Take a look down, tuck your pelvis. It's probably gonna push your knee forward. Keep your pelvis tucked, pull the knee back. Take a look down and make sure that your bent knee is next to or behind your standing knee. Keep your abs drawing in, pelvis tucked under. You're gonna feel your glute on this side grab. You might feel your hamstring grab a little. In fact, if you can get them on the brink of cramping up, you're really doing this exercise right. It almost should feel like a glute and a hamstring exercise. Such a good quad stretch. And relax. Take your arms up over your head. Inhale. Exhale. Interlock your fingers. Bring them back behind. Press your elbows back. Lift your chest. Draw your shoulder blades towards each other. Press your shoulder blades down towards your tailbone, right at the middle of your spine, lifting your chest. Ooh, it's so good. Such a good upper body chest stretch. And release your hands. Keep your shoulders where they are. Bring your hands right back behind. Interlock, extend, and open up. This is great to get an opening in the front of the shoulders and the chest, which is just a great neutralizer after doing an arm workout, because inevitably after an arm workout, your shoulders tend to fall forward and we want to open them up again. And relax. I hope you loved this workout. Please leave a comment below if you're watching in playback. And if you ever want to join us live, make sure you come over and visit me at hollyperkins.com/free workout. And you can show up with me live here on a Saturday. I'll see you next time.